I don't know whether this would be counted as horror or scary story. My father had an experience with supernatural, an eerie incident, whose after realization was shocking as well as painful for him. He never spoke about the occurrence, avoided the subject. The story was narrated to me by my paternal grandmother. A little background: this incident took place in late 1970s or early 1980s of Mumbai city. During that period, Mumbai, or then called as Bombay, did not have as many huge towers or building structure in comparison to now. People stayed in chawl system-like structures, where one floor had huge lobby with 10 to 15 or more houses, approximately 100 to 200 square feet in sizes, with common toilet system, so the houses had small bathrooms where one could stand and bath, but for defecation or to urinate has to use common toilet. Vastov movie? That kind of structure. Be with me. This necessary to have a picture. My father was in police force, Mumbai. After one is selected for enforcement, one has to go through months of intense training. My father, then recently recruited, had returned from 2 to 3 months of training. He had a week-long off before joining for his position in assigned police station. He comes back. My grandmother is excited to meet her son. It was late in night, around 11:30-ish in the night, when he has returned. The first thing he does to use common toilet, as per my grandmother. Back then in the 70s to 80s, people would sleep early, as many of them had early morning shifts at textile mills. So not many people would use common toilets late night. My father's house was far end on the floor, and common toilet right in the middle of the floor. One had to pass few houses before reaching the toilet. So, my father goes. He finishes his business and out. Now, while he was returning, he hears a familiar voice calling him. He turns back. It's his best friend. I think the name was Chaya. Don't remember, but we'll use the name throughout. They had been best buddies since they were kids. She was married previous year, and then was pregnant. She was one of the closest friends he had. He would share every small detail of his life with her. He was very happy to see her. They chatted for a while. My grandmother did not know a lot, but they spoke for half an hour or more. He came back home quite late and cheerful. Grandmother thought he met one of friends, asked whom he met. My father cheerfully told he met Chaya, and they chatted for a long time. He was happy to meet her after such long time. Back then no phone, his friend being married, shifted to other place, hardly in contact. So they met after a long time. My grandmother said she did not respond. It was when he was having dinner, he asked my grandmother why she did not inquire more about his meet with Chaya. My grandmother then informed that Chaya died. Her husband and in-laws burnt her alive while she was pregnant, as her family could not pay the remaining dowry. She died a month ago and was cremated nearby. She had visited their house few days prior to her death and met grandmother. Chaya said that she missed Ramesh, my father's name, a lot. Wished he was there for her. This affected my father. He was bedridden for weeks after that. He could not believe that his best friend was no more. He would tell my grandmother that last chat he had with her felt so real. What saddened him the most? That the kind of death his best friend had to face, the kind of abuse she must have gone through, and how he could not be there for her. He could not do anything, as the Chaya's parents did not take any legal against the husband and in-laws. He tried persuading them, of no use. my grandmother shared after he was well. He met the husband and beat the shit out of him. But that's all he could do.